what, 14 years?
14 years. This is your motherfucking song. This ain't our shit. This is your revolutionary culture. Dead Prez ain't shit without the people. The people come first. The people come first.
From small things like, you know, conflicts in the school system, you know, around Black History Month and struggles, you know, in the students owning and controlling that program in a racist town with racist traditions. For me, that was early. And speed forward, I met my partner a couple years after that, and we had a lot in common, and we related based on how he had been brought up and certain things I had been through. We related to things like the Black Panther Party, and you know, those guys were heroes to us, you know, and so we started trying to emulate what they were doing in terms of their platform, and we tried to advocate those kind of things in our neighborhood. And we actually met an organization that was still functioning from that era, called the Uhuru Movement, an African People's Socialist Party. And we invited them to a rally we were having. And once we met them and we saw their experience, and you know, they was OGs to us, and we were just trying our best to figure it out. And they you know, so they brought us into the Uhuru Movement and taught us, you know, from ground up about political education, organizing, capitalism, socialism, communism from an African perspective, and a working class African perspective on top. So, and you know, in our experiences from there, trying to apply some of those theories and practices in different neighborhoods in Florida and Chicago and New York and Oakland. We kind of, you know, got our feet wet, cut our teeth on the ground, and always fusing our music with it, and you know, up to now.
I think that is a lot of what brought me and Stick kind of together, along with the rest of the people who wanted change and who wanted to become comrades and join in organizations and do political work with us. We had a common thread with the perspective about how we saw the world at that time. Music to me, I mean, interesting enough, you know, as Stick was talking, I was trying to recall the music that had its most political influence on me, and then also like the reason why I use music as a weapon for the fight that I'm involved in, as well as many other things, hopefully, but music I think we use as one of the chief tools to combat like, you know, like the ideas that are, you know, really like fucked up ideas, or like, you know, so like I remember way back in the day when I heard a rap group called Sonic, and they made they made a song called Free South Africa, and I just remember this song. It to me became one of the first kind of outright political statements that I could remember hearing. I think this might have been before I heard Public Enemy. I'm not quite sure. It was around the same time because Public Enemy was coming, but in Public Enemy's preliminary days, they were just hardcore street music. They didn't make outright political. Their first album, Yo Bum Rush the Show, didn't have almost any political overtures in it that was like outright like dedicated to like, you know, it's about my '98 Oldsmobile. I'm rolling thick. My posse's big. I got big guns. You know, it was like real hood. It wasn't until their second album, and because I'm a fan of Public Enemy, you know, and I love them since Yo Bum Rush the Show, not just because of what happened on the political set. Like, I recognized that shit that they was on was hard shit, and from a black perspective, it was intriguing to me. But songs like Free South Africa, and then when Public Enemy came along, and also people like Queen Latifah, who like put like images of Africa, and like that, there was like a whole association at that time. Like, that's probably one of the first times I saw rap go headfirst into like aligning itself with a political agenda that was bigger than rap. Like hearing Daddy-O from Stetsasonic talk about Nelson Mandela or all the continents of all the countries in the continent of Africa, made me say, wow, you know, like, this guy's onto something. You know what I'm saying? He's learning it. It's not like a dance or just music. And so I kind of engaged with it that way. It didn't hit smack hard down to me as far as like me being involved in that way until I'd had the same experiences that Stick had. You know, we tried to kind of make sense of the stuff, and the politic that we had been introduced to had ideologically shifted my worldview to make me understand what it was that I was trying to go through from the point of view of class and race, and just where, you know, what we had gotten involved in at a young age, like learning from elders around us. So yeah, and then it shifted into what we know now as Dead Prez for many reasons, but for me, a lot of the stuff that we talked about in our early songs, and even Let's Get Free, you know, songs like Food, Clothes, and Shelter, or, you know, these songs were born from an observation and participation standpoint. You know, they were like, okay, we're gonna look at the world, we're gonna then develop some shit or an idea or a theory to go about changing the world, and we're gonna do something. And then, so coming out of that, the frustrations from those songs made me try to understand, well, hell, for Huey P. Newton was saying we need food, clothes, and shelter. Why the fuck isn't it so fucking easy to get this? You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the angst and the frustration turned into some of the songs. And still are, like, really the ammunition today. But yeah, that's kind of just the echo with Sticks.
Make some noise on 3. 1, 2, 3. This